Name, which is our opportunity to talk with some of the staff, volunteers, and students that make Asheville Community Theater the amazing place it is. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Ria Young, who is a playwright whose play Transition will be premiering as part of the Artistic Horizons series in Asheville Community Theater's 35 Below once we reopen after the COVID-19 crisis. Ria, thank you so much for being here and talking to me today.
I appreciate the opportunity.
So to start, your play, Transition, which is going to be produced in 35 Below, is actually based on your own memoir, correct?
Yes, it is.
So can you tell us just a little bit about the writing of your memoir and what prompted you to write that, and then what prompted you to turn that into a play?
Yes. So just starting from the beginning with the memoir, after I graduated from college and I moved back home to the Shiloh community, to be exact. And I was going through a bit of a transition from being a star collegiate athlete, just transitioning into normal life and what I wanted to do next. And just through some of my community outreach and some of my community projects, I was just seeing and recognizing a bit of a gap, and then seeing ways that I could fill that, and just kind of using myself as a resource. And I had been through all of these different things in my life, all of these different challenges and triumphs as a collegiate basketball player, and then just as a young Black woman trying to navigate that world and discover herself. But there were a lot of those experiences that I had not shared with others outside of my immediate circle. So I decided the best way for me to do that was to write and self-publish my own memoir about those different experiences. And it came out towards the end of 2017, December of 2017. And, you know, just from the response from that book and being able to go to different high schools and churches and colleges and universities to share my story in more intimate settings and directly with students, you know, and individuals who didn't necessarily have an athletic background, but could relate to something that I experienced or something that I went through. And with me being, I love film, I love movies, production, playwriting, screenwriting, you know, anything that goes into bringing all of those pieces together into what you see on screen. I've always kind of been a junkie about those things. And it's just something that I felt like could be my next step, my next transition into after Lost in the Game. I wrote that memoir when I was 26 years old. You know, I'm almost 29 now. So even just within those 3 years, there's a lot of different things that have happened within my life, the people around me and different things that I've seen, and just wanting to, you know, bring a certain period to life and kind of do a curtain call on Lost in the Game and then transition into my next chapter.
So where were you in the process of producing the play at ACT? How far had you gotten in that process?
So the script was completed. I had chosen my cast. I was talking to different directors because I'm directing this as well, which is my first time getting my feet wet in this realm. So I've been talking to a lot of different directors and screenwriters and playwriters, just kind of picking their brains and making sure that I'm as informed as possible, and then just kind of pulling from them and then reshaping it into who I am to bring this project to life. So my cast has been selected. There'll be a cast announcement this Friday, May 1st. And everybody's just studying the script and different things like that. So we were basically in pre-production once COVID hit. So we're still a couple months out from rehearsals. So hopefully with the different phasing processes with the governor, hopefully we'll still be able to start rehearsals in late June, early July, and then have that August 1 showtime.
That's great. And it's so exciting that you decided to direct it as well as write it. That's really exciting.
Yeah. I went back and forth about that a little bit, obviously.
It's a lot to take on.
It is, but I actually let some of my director friends read the script before I distributed, and I was talking to them a little bit about, either like co-directing or them just taking it on as a director, and then just kind of me just shadowing them for the first time, and then being hands-on as the, as the producer and the writer. But after them reading the script, they was like, this is, you have to do this. So here I am.
So tell me a little bit, outside of the theater realm, tell me a little bit about some of the speaking you've done at schools and colleges and universities. What led you to want to share your story in that sort of forum, and how has that gone?
Yes. So, just for anybody that knows anything about me, I'm very spiritually and faith driven. And I have a very close connection with God, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I was set on this earth for a specific purpose. And for a while, I kind of struggled with finding out what that truly was. And once I started to embark on this journey, things became clear to me, through different opportunities, different impacts, and different conversations and experiences that I was able to have with individuals one-on-one and in larger realms. So I believe that that's my purpose in life, to continue to share my story and my experiences, and to use myself as a resource, for different things and for different opportunities for, young Black creatives that are coming up after me, and just kind of following, the blueprint and the path that the ancestors have set before me. So as far as speaking is concerned, I've been to Western Kentucky, UNCA, a couple of high schools down in South Carolina, Asheville High, TC Robertson here. Of course, locally in my community, the Shiloh community. I've done some things in the South Side community as well. And all of them have either uh, revolved around my book and experiences in my book, or just there's an organization, a word on the street, which is based in the South Side, who I have a very close relationship with, who focuses a lot on the arts and creating and just helping young Black and brown boys and girls find their voice through creativity. So just working side by side with them, and just using the gifts that God has blessed me with for a purpose bigger than myself.
So I know you were an athlete, obviously, growing up.
Yes.
Did you, was creativity always part of your world as well? Were the arts a part of your world growing up as well?
Yes, it was. My family, they're very, very creative in a lot of different ways. I come from a family, long line of intellectuals and creators, and that's, artists, writers, authors, just being creative and being tapped into the arts is something that went simultaneous with how I grew up. And so even though I was an athlete and basketball was my number one and my primary focus, I was still, writing essays and writing poetry and different things to express myself in that way. But I just kept them close to my chest because, at that time, my mindset was a lot different. And it was just more so focused on basketball and being the best that I could possibly be in that realm. So that creativity, as far as sharing it with the world, took a back seat, but it was always very, very present in my life.
So what do you say to kids, either when you are doing a speaking engagement or just maybe kids that watch this video or see your show at ACT, who are interested in cultivating the creative side of themselves? What do you tell them to encourage them?
I just encourage them to, trust their instincts and protect the vision. That's really my biggest thing. If you have a vision and a want and a need for something that you feel deep down that you're passionate about, and it's something that you truly want to do, protect it at all costs. Like you don't have to compromise the foundation of that idea to fit in, or to kind of exist in a certain lane. You can create your own lane. You can create your own seat at the table. So protect what that innocence is at its core of whatever idea that is, whether it's through art, reading, writing, no matter what that is, that falls under that artistic umbrella. Whatever it is at the foundation of it, if you're passionate about it, protect that, because that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else. It just trust God, trust your instincts, and protect that vision.
So if there's someone out there that sees this who thinks, theater sounds kind of interesting, but I don't know, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I don't know if I should get involved. What would you say to them?
For me, it's more so, learning how to tolerate fear. Because anytime that you step out into something that's new, and theater is so sacred as far as the things that you create and how personal the experience is with the audience. So there's always going to be a bit of fear within that, but learning how to tolerate it, because within the fear lies, your most powerful growth. Because fear makes you uncomfortable, and then you're stepping into things that you really want to do, but it makes you nervous. So I just say embrace it, learn how to tolerate it, and don't allow that fear to deter you from doing the thing that you're passionate about.
So are you still active in sports?
A little bit. A little bit. I still work out. I definitely use basketball just to stay in shape, because that's really all I know. And there's a couple kids around in the area that I train individually, and they keep me on my P's and Q's. So yeah, I'm still pretty active in sports.
Anything else that you feel like the public would be interested to know?
I mean, as far as the play is concerned, it's just the exploration of someone, a young African American girl who's on the brink of a transition in her life, and she's trying to navigate uh, life, love, friendships, and figuring out who she ultimately wants to be moving forward. Once the final chapter, the last chapter of her life has closed. So even though it is based off of my life as a collegiate basketball player, in this project specifically, all of that just serves as the backdrop, as who I am. But the story itself is so intricate, and there's so many different nuances between all of the characters and how they are connected and how they move forward with each other, especially Molly, who is the main character based off of my life. So any and everybody will be able to take something, and that's my hope and my prayer, is that whoever comes to experience this show will take something from it that they can move forward with. So
I really appreciate your time today, Ria. Thank you so
no, I
much.
appreciate it too. I appreciate the opportunity.
And we will see you at the theater soon, I hope.
Yes, hopefully.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.